My name is Richard Drengot. 20 years ago, I came here to southern Italy with a band of 40 Norman knights to find my fortune and make a name for myself and my family. William the Bastard may have his sights set on the throne of England, but I prefer warmer land. When I first came here, I was welcomed by the local people, the Lombards, but soon the political infighting forced me to take a hand. I fought alongside the D'Hauteville's against the Pope at the Battle of Civitate, and it was I who led the charge of our battle-hardened Norman army that would lead to our eventual victory. Now, after so many years of fighting, I stand as both the Prince of Capua and the Duke of Gaeta, a place I have earned through blood and cunning. Yet I am not content. To my south lies Sergius of Naples, who has resisted me for years, and to the east lay the lands of my fellow Normans, the D'Hautevilles, led by Robert Guiscard, known as the Fox. And to the north sits the new Pope, who may be our ally, as much as a potential threat. Glory awaits me in my house, of that I have no doubt, but how much blood will be shed along the way, that is something only God knows, but I will not stand down from what I deserve. Hello and welcome to a brand new Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series where we will be taking on the role of Richard Drengot, the Duke of Capua. We are a Norman adventurer who has set sail from the north of France like his Viking ancestors of old to carve a name for himself here in southern Italy. As you can see here, our lands consist of the Barony of Capua and the city of Gaeta. And this here is us, Duke Richard. We are of the House of Drengot, we are Catholic, we are Norman, and we are a cynical man. We do not necessarily believe in the power of the Lord above, though we do put on the airs when we need to. After all, we do have the lands of the Pope right nearby, bordering us on each side. We are also ambitious, and that is what has led us here to southern Italy after all. And we are brave, as we showed in the Battle of Civitate, where we led the charge of the Norman knights against the forces of the Pope and his Lombard allies. We are a thrifty clerk, and we are avaricious, meaning that money is a large part and the driving factor that has led us here to this day. As you can see, we are married, we are 44 years old, and our wife is Duchess Fredesenda of the D'Hauteville family, who are very important, and we shall get to know them soon enough. But our wife, she is diligent, she is paranoid, she is humble, and she is an adequate bargainer, so her diplomatic skills could use some improvement, but they are not terrible, no. And with my wife, I have 3 sons and 1 daughter. My eldest son, Jordan, is diligent, temperate, cynical, deceitful, or vengeful, I should say. And he is rowdy. He is growing up to be a strong lad, and he is taking the martial education, so he's hopefully will grow up to be a fine warrior one day. We also have our second son, the middle child, Jonathan, who is brave, content, fickle, and charming. He is learning matters of diplomacy. And my youngest son, Bartolomeo, who is patient, shy, and a bit bossy. He's having a martial education for now, but I think we will switch you over to stewardship. You can learn to manage money for your brothers in the future. And of course my daughter, Limpiasa, who is bossy. And I think we will switch you over to perhaps an intrigue education. You would be a little bit better here with stewardship, but intrigue may serve you even better. So that is us, that is our family, and let us take a brief look at the situation surrounding us. So, as I mentioned, we do have the Pope to our north and to our east. And this Pope, Pope Alexander II, is compassionate, forgiving, just. He is a master scholar. And he is a lot better than the last Pope, the one that we took prisoner after the battle in which the Normans defeated the papal forces. This Pope may be somebody that we can potentially get along with. Then, of course, to our south, we have Count Sergios of Napoli of the House of Spartanos. Yes, he has been a thorn in our side for many years. We've wanted to conquer the city of Napoli, but he has held it from our grasp for now. He is generous, he is content, and he is forgiving, and an amateurish plotter. He does not deserve to hold these lands, in our opinion. We also have, of course, the most importantly in this region, the Duke of Apulia, Duke Robert Guiscard, known as the Fox, of the House of Hauteville. He is an arbitrary man, he is a greedy man, but he is also an ambitious man. A brilliant strategist who also made a name for himself in that battle and the many battles that came after when we Normans carved out our lands here in the south. Now, for now, Duke Robert is not an enemy of ours, but he does pose a bit of a roadblock in our own plans, as he holds most of southern Italy, whereas our routes for expansion are somewhat limited, so we will need to deal with that situation at some point. But for now, the Hautevilles are allies rather than enemies. After all, we are married to Duke Robert's sister. So, that is our political situation. Of course, we do have the Muslims who have conquered the bits of Sicily here. And we have Sardinia, which is broken into many city-states. And, of course, the Holy Roman Empire, which is a rather large and potential threat to us from above. But hopefully, for now, we will be able to retain our independence. So that is the political situation. First things that we need to deal with, of course, are our own family matters. So let us look to ourselves. We can choose our lifestyle, and we do have several options, but I think we will go down the stewardship path, as we do care greatly for making money. And that will be important because we may need money and mercenaries to fund our expansions here in Italy. So we're going to choose the wealth focus to squeeze a little bit more money out of our Lombard subjects. And we shall look now to our council. Our wife, of course, is going to assist us with court politics. We have our bishop here, a Norman, no doubt installed by us ourselves, Bishop Orderic of Capua. He is callous, he is craven, and he is just. And he is a mastermind philosopher, so he does know what he's doing, but he's a coward, so he will not likely speak up against us when we make our decisions in the council. We will be listening to our council, though, perhaps not as much as some others, as we are a very bold and independent man. But if our counselors have things to say, then we shall take heed of their words. We do have a chancellor position that needs filling, and it looks like our options are somewhat limited. So I believe that Atenulf d'Aquino will be the only option, really. So you can take that position. Atenulf, you are not very good at your job, but hopefully you will improve. You are forgiving, ambitious, chaste, a tough soldier, and reckless. So no doubt you'll be fighting in some of our battles as well. Here we have Mayor Serlo of Gaeta. He is greedy, temperate, cynical, and a naive appeaser. So perhaps you are mediocre at your job, but as long as you can make us some money, Sirlo, that will be fine by me. And here we have our brother, Raynolf, who is chaste, zealous, trusting. He is a skilled tactician and a logistician, which will be very useful in the coming wars. He is quite skilled in battle and warfare, which will be useful. He does have 2 sons as well, Richard and Robert. So I'm sure they will play an important role in our family as well. And then we have our spy master, Pandolf Diaquino, appears to be the brother of our chancellor and of 2 of our knights. So the Diaquino family is quite important in our realm, it appears. So that's yes, they are related to the former dukes of Capua. So hopefully they will not attempt to take their lands back. We shall do our best to prevent that. So we've sorted out our own matters for us personally, but we also have our children as well. And we will need to look to their education. Jordan, he is almost old enough to consider himself a man, but he still has a few more years to go. We could raise him ourselves, but I think for his last year of military training, we will have our brother take care of that. Yes, our brother can teach him the ways of war. Obviously, we are skilled in war as well, but in the recent times, we've put our focus more towards coin and managing our realm, whereas our brother seems to be more of the warfare-minded one of the family. So our son will take heed of my brother. My youngest son, he is training to be a diplomatic sort. So I think that we will have, yes, perhaps our wife can raise him and teach him a little bit of what she knows of managing diplomacy. Our youngest son, Bartolomeo, I think Bartolomeo we will raise ourselves. Yes, there's nobody who understands coin in our realm more than us. So we will raise him ourselves. Our youngest daughter, focus on intrigue. No, I don't think we have anybody with a strong focus on that. So I think we will have our wife raise our daughter as well, educate her. She can teach her diplomacy and intrigue. I think those 2 go hand in hand. So that is our education sorted out. Now, back to the political situation. Obviously, we are the Duke of Capua, which means that we have a claim here on Napoli. Now, of course, I'm sure we made up that claim ourselves, but no matter, we consider Napoli to be ours, and it is held by Sergios, who is Greek and Orthodox, and no fit ruler for Napoli. No, we shall take it from him, and we have tried in the past, but the Spartanos family has resisted us thus far. They do have a superior number of soldiers to us, almost twice as many, which means that we will need to find allies. Now, there are potential allies all around the world, of course, but we need allies close to home, which means forging closer ties with the Hauteville family. Now, we do have ties with them already, but I think that we need to forge even closer ties. And we see here that Robert the Fox has a daughter who is of similar age to our eldest son. She is generous, she is diligent, she is charming, and she has been disinherited, but that doesn't matter much. And her son was probably going to, or her brothers, yes, it looks like, oh, he's disinherited a few of his children here. Yes, it looks like the brother is going to be taking over, which is to be expected. We don't know why he has disinherited them. That matters not. That's his own politics. So we shall perhaps find our betrothal to our son. They are cousins, but I think that matters little to us in this situation. We need the alliances, and we need the alliances close to home. So we will forge that. But we also, now, here, we do not want to be indebted. This is more of a protective alliance here with Duke Robert. We don't want to be calling upon him too often. After all, that will be... We don't want to be indebted to him. We don't want to be really indebted to anyone. But we will need allies to call upon in our own wars. So as we look to allies, I think the first option would be to go across the border here. And yes, we do have Count Robert of Lanciano. He is another Hauteville, but he does have a son, 6-year-old son, who potentially could be a good betrothal option for our daughter. That will allow us to form an alliance. They are cousins as well, though more distant cousins. And I think that that will be a good option to have an ally close nearby. And he does have a quite a few more troops. Yes, 963. That is plenty of troops. And he is actually a good warrior. He knows how to handle himself in battle. So that will be quite useful to us. What other things can we handle? Well, we do have our brother here. Our brother could probably use a spouse. He does have 2 children, but he is not married. So I think we will find him a good Norman woman for our brother. Now, my nephews. Here we go. Richard, he is generous, ambitious, and pensive. He is learning stewardship. So perhaps we can, take care of him ourselves. Raise our nephew. I think that would be a good idea. And Robert here is learning martial. So I think that, yes, you should probably... Your father can teach you those matters. Very good. What else can we do here to manage? I think, well, the Diacchino family is quite important in our realm. So I think finding some marriages for our good servants here may be a good option. Perhaps some good French women. Yes, I think that would be a good option there for you as well. You could use a wife as well. Perhaps, what do we have here? Perhaps Swabians, Italians, Polish? Oh yes, perhaps a Polish woman there. They may be unlanded, but they will no doubt earn themselves a place in our court. So, that is family matters at home sorted out. We've got that pretty much all managed, and now we simply need to prepare ourselves for what is to come in the future, and our first order of business, consolidating our realm. To the implacable Duke Richard of Capua, I accept your marriage proposal. Your courtier Etenolf and my acquaintance Adelaise will be joined in holy matrimony. Wonderful. That matters little, though. A mere side note. This is a bit more important. Duke Robert Guiscard, I gladly accept your betrothal proposition. Your son and heir Jordan will be betrothed to my daughter Emma. Perfect. That forms an alliance. And we have our alliance with Count Robert of Lanciano. Gladly accept your betrothal proposition. Limpiasa will be betrothed to your son and heir, William. Perfect. So, now we have our alliances. And my brother to Godchild. Over there in Evreux. That is a bit far away. Won't be of much help to us, but at least our brother is married. And this matters little to us. So, we have our alliances. We are ready to prepare for our upcoming battle with Count Sergios. Now, we have tried to fight him before and we have failed to take Napoli, but I do not want to fail again. So, we will be preparing. We will need siege weapons to, no doubt, to conquer Naples, but we do not have the money, not yet. So, hopefully we can raise the money in time for our future battle here. We're making not a whole lot, but we're making enough. We should have the money in the near future here. We could sell some trivial titles. Might be an option. Ah, here's our son. Ah, son has shown great aptitude. I'm proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult with sufficient tutelage. Even a child that has displayed that little natural inclination towards warfare, such as Jordan, can come to truly understand it. He has shown great aptitude both in battle tactics and the management of armies. He will make a fine commander one day, I am sure. He is a skilled tactician and a military engineer, which will be a big help when we are sieging down Naples, no doubt. But yes, selling trivial titles, that would cost us quite a bit of our prestige. So I think we will hold on to that option for now. We almost have enough money to afford some siege weapons already. So here we are. Just waiting to get those last little bits of coin. One more month should do it there. And then we should be prepared. Yes, there we go. We have our siege weapons. Richard came to me complaining about Landolf bullying him. He has been hiding all over the castle to avoid facing the other child. Who is Landolf? Oh, he's the son of one of our knights of the Aquino family. Good. Do not seek out trouble when it is unnecessary. Why not hide in your room instead? Or the bully deserves whatever punishment you can imagine. You know, you are ambitious, and that worries me. You are the son of my brother, and I do not know if I want you to be potentially threatening my children in the future. So I think being craven is not a bad thing for you in your case. No, I think not. So we will simply build our siege weapons, and then we shall be ready to take Naples for ourselves here. We are almost ready, and we'll need a little bit of extra coin, I think, just so that we do not run out of money. There we are. We have our siege weapons, and I believe that with 14 coins we should be prepared. So, Count Sergios, we offer you one last chance. Will you swear vassalage to me? No, you will not. Then it is war. Naples belongs to us, belongs to me. So, there we are. We will raise our armies. And we do have allies. We could call in the Fox, but like I said, we do not want to owe him. So instead, I believe we will call in our ally, Count Robert. Call to war. Yes, that our forces together should be enough. And we will meet with our ally here in the mountains. Our brother is leading the armies right now, but I do believe that I should be the one leading our armies. Ah, looks like they may catch us off guard here. Well, hopefully our men can hold on long enough for our allies to reach us. Are they even coming to our aid here? Appears not. Oh, they may. Will they get here in time? I'm not sure if they will. Oh, they may. They may just reach us in time. My spymaster has been wounded. Ooh, disfigured in the battle. Oh, but I believe that our son Oh, the last troops. Oh, he's gonna get here just in time. Just before the battle was lost, he got here. And if I do recall correctly, I do believe I saw that our son had maimed the, I believe, was it, or was it that our son was maimed? No. Yeah, I think he had maimed one of Count Sergios's men during the battle, proving himself as a warrior. There we go. Just in the nick of time, our allies got here and managed to save the battle from being a disaster. We captured the mayor of Amalfi, which I do believe we should use to fund the rest of the war here. They come in for a second attack at us, but no, they won't be able to resist our forces here. We outnumber them. We have better leaders, great Norman knights, including my son and my brother, and we crush their army once more and force them to retreat. Now, I do believe I shall test my son, see how well he has learned, and put him in charge of the siege here, while we return to Capua and manage matters at home. He is trained in the art of siege warfare, so he may have an advantage here. And we shall speed matters up as the siege ticks down. Ah, here, the betrothal. Jordan proving himself as both a man on the battlefield and in the matters of politics here, as he marries and cements our alliance. Well now, we do seem to be missing a chancellor. Perhaps my son can take that role as well. Here we are in battle once more. They are coming back for us, and now my son leads the army. And he's doing a fine job of it, crushing the forces of Count Sergios. Yes, an excellent warrior. A great knight our son is, proving himself. And the siege continues. We may have lost some of our forces, but that was to be expected. Yes, Atenolf died from his injuries. Injuries are to be expected in war, but we are sad that one of our people did die, but many men die in these battles. I took Bartolomeo out playing with a bow, and to my surprise he ran into a wounded doe. He later lashed out at me, thinking I had staged the whole encounter. Yes, it was certainly a test well done. Could have showed me that you felled the animal yourself. I do think it would be good for our son to be ambitious. I think I want all my sons to be ambitious. Oh, our knight killed someone in the battle. Killed someone important. And there we go. My son crushed the army of Count Sergios, leaving none alive or not surrendered. So there we are. With that, the siege continues on into the final months. Soon, Naples will be ours. They may have kept it from us for this long, but not anymore. No. And there we are. The siege ticks down to the final months. The defenders, no doubt, will surrender. And just at that final moment, the city is ours, but the battle has already been engaged, and my son will deal one final blow. Oh dear. We captured Count Sergios and Mayor Eudoxia. Well, since we already have their city, and we have them, I do believe that we shall demand a ransom from them both. After all, we do need the money to fund future wars. So there we are. Give us all your money, Count Sergios, and soon after give us your land. There we are. They've paid the ransom, and with their city captured, they have no choice but to submit to our demands. We will gain the contested county, he will become our vassal, we will gain prestige, and we will gain fame. We will enforce our demands. There we are. To my liege, peace be with you. You are a much greater foe than I had imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. So be it. And there we go. We now have Napoli under our control. We have the Duchy of Capua is ours. But now we must decide what comes next. What options do we have? Well, to the south lies tantalizingly the Principality of Salerno, ruled by Prince Gizolf, a Lombard and a vengeful, wrathful, temperate man. That is one option. We could play favorites with the Pope, and we could cement our alliance with the Fox. There are also options in Sardinia and Sicily to be had as well. But let me know what you think should be our next move. Let me know whether you believe that our Duke here would quickly move on after his conquest of Napoli further south into Salerno, or if he would focus on consolidating his realm and trying to squeeze every last bit of money out of his subjects as he can. Perhaps both. But until the next episode,